Well, it's an interesting story actually. I was working on a TV series pilot. I was writing this, and I was having writer's block and all of this. And at the time, I had turned off my cable TV, because I was expenses and everything. I was cutting down on expenses, and I had a dream. And the dream was that there was this black horse trapped in my bedroom closet, my high school bedroom closet. And the closet went back down into a cave and all of this stuff. And the horse came up, and I found it, and it was alive, but barely. And so I have this. I'm a Jungian, basically. And so dreams, everything in a dream stands for something in yourself, basically. So I was doing associations to the dream, and it turns out that the horse stood for my writing instinct and my creativity. And so I did 8 years, and it was like 8 years since I had completed anything that writing. And I thought, oh my God, that's horrible. So the dream basically was giving me a warning that if I didn't start finishing my writing projects or getting them done, I could lose it. It could die. So that night, after I worked on the dream and I was working on this TV project, I thought, okay, I'm going to get some inspired. And I went to my library in my house, on my bookshelf, and I went kind of through all my books, and I pulled off Chicken Soup for the Horse Lover's Soul. And which I thought, okay, that's all short stories, and I'll get some interesting ideas from people, and everything. And in there was a story by a man named Boots Reynolds on the birth of Reckless's first colt, Fearless. And it was so funny. And I was laughing so hard, and I thought, who is this horse? Why haven't I heard about her? Why hasn't there been at least one movie, 3 remakes, and a TV series on her, because her story is so powerful. And so I started doing research, and when I Googled Sgt Reckless, or Reckless Private of the Marines, I'd get 4 little things come up on the search. I mean, there was nothing out there. There was an article from Leatherneck from '92, and she was actually listed in Life magazine as one of our, celebrated as one of our great heroes. So she's on the pages of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Mother Teresa, Eleanor Roosevelt, John Wayne. I mean, this is the book she's in because they really felt what she did was so out of the ordinary and everything. So that was really cool. So as I started doing research, I realized that there's just nothing out there. And so I started going on to all of these blogs and Korean War things and meeting, people and just putting out the word and getting all these pictures. I've collected about over 100 pictures of her for my book and stories of any Marine that would tell them to me. And so it's just been great. So now my biggest thing that I have been doing has been trying to build a memorial to her. And I'm actually going to do 2. One is going to be at Camp Pendleton here, life-size, and that's the start of the memorial right there, the bronze. And she'll be loaded up with her tack and ammo as she's going up the hill. And I just got word that Quantico, the National Marine Corps Museum of Quantico, has agreed to place her there, in their memorial park. And so, which is very, very exciting because it's very close to Washington, D.C. And so I really feel that she'll get great play there. And they like the idea so much, they want to do an exhibit of her inside the museum as well. And we have one of her horseshoes, and they're going to take the maquette and put that in there in a display case because they think that'll be a draw to send people outside. And so that's what I'm doing now. And the Commandant of the Marine Corps knows all about this. And I'm working with General Bailey at Camp Pendleton, and they just love this idea of putting her there and everything. So it's really been just a labor of love and just a wonderful story. And I'm just, between my script and the memorials, and I'm going to do a documentary and the book, I think people will really get to, she won't vanish from the pages of history, again, as long as I have anything to do with it.
Are you gonna contact PBS?
Yes,
Okay.
people have talked to me about doing that, and as soon as I have more on the documentary put together, I'm going to do that so they can really see.
Yeah,
what it's
because
going
they
to be.
show stuff like this.
They
Yeah.
do, I know it, and they like stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I'm now interviewing the Marines that I have talked to for my book, and I'm trying to get them now on tape.
How many years of research have you been?
I've been working on this for about 6 years, 5, 6 years. Yeah.
Did you have to look at microfiche and do the old time
Yeah,
research?
well, I was lucky enough that I would have people, like when I contacted the National Archives and the Library of Congress, I was able to hire people to go in there and just send me everything that they have on the horse. And the same at Quantico, they've sent me all of their stuff, pictures. And the San Diego Union just released in February about 25 million pages, I think, of newspaper articles, pages of newspaper, which date back going through the 50s and 60s and stuff. And so I was just in the last 2 months able to get all of this great, things of different things, places she was going, about the racetrack, the different days of the racetrack and everything. And this was when she was promoted to staff sergeant the last day. And this is a picture, of course, of the bronze that she's doing. So it's just a great labor of love. And then Jacqueline here, she got to ride on with Rosie, the breastplate of Sgt Reckless. And then the Sgt Reckless Memorial Color Guard is now riding in local parades, and these are 4 guys that served with her either at Camp Pendleton, and most of them were from Camp Pendleton and stuff.
Did you talk to anybody who was actually with her at the time?
Yes, I have.
How old is he, like 90 something?
He's actually, the one guy is 77, I think.
I was going to say,
And
you're getting older. My
yeah,
dad was
and
younger.
one of my other friends, he's working, actually Harold's working on the memorial with me, but also a gentleman named Bob Rogers wasn't in the battle with her, but he was there when she was first penned sergeant, had her sergeant blanket put on her and her sergeant stripes and stuff. And so it's just really, really amazing. And I did actually talk to another gentleman that just passed away recently, and his daughter just is looking for his letters that he wrote about Reckless from Korea. And she's going to send them to me to put in the book, because he sent her pictures and would talk about Reckless. And he actually took over for Eric Peterson in the biggest battle at Outpost Vegas. He took over for him after one of the nights there when Peterson was promoted to another area. And so he was there, and he talked about how she would, how much they loved her and how they took her on an amphibious landing. We were going to take her on that, and she got so seasick. They couldn't do it, because the storms, all these storms came and everything. I mean, her stories are just classic, when you think about these things. So I'm now in full fundraising mode of, trying to get her memorials done. And the exciting thing is I'm going to Quantico on June 1st to have a meeting. We're finalizing the site, and we're picking out the exhibit, talking about the exhibit. But I'm thinking they wanted to know when the statue could be ready to dedicate. And we're going to try to do it on July 27th of next year, 2013, which is the 60th anniversary of the end of the Korean War. And I just get the chills when you think about that, the fact that she was there as such a heroic creature in this war. For her to be honored on the day of the 60th anniversary, I think would just be very exciting. And so that's what I'm really going there to lock in that date and lock in everything I can to make this happen. And the gal who's designing the statue, building the statue, her name is Jocelyn Russell, and her stuff is amazing. And I just know when you just see what she looks like there, and you can imagine her with her loaded down with her tack and ammo and going in, that it's going to be breathtaking. And Quantico, I can tell, how you can kind of tell in people's voices when they're trying to be very reserved, but they get kind of giddy. And they're saying, oh yes, well we think this is very special, and we think it's going to fit in beautifully with our, stuff here and stuff. So I know between here and Camp Pendleton, I know that she's just going to have such a warm and, everybody's just going to know about her now. And that's a great thing. So So that's what I've got. I've got flyers we can pass around for everybody. I'm on Facebook. We have a fan club. We've got over 3,500 people in the fan club. Jacqueline's one of them. And, you know, I answer any questions that people have on the horse and stuff. But she's just a wonderful, wonderful character. And you just really enjoy learning about her. And as I said, the movie is about 3 minutes long, and you see pictures of her in action, just kind of walking with the stuff. But I do have some video of her and everything else. So that's pretty. Pardon me?
That's what she looks like. Awesome. 14 hands.
14 hands. Yeah. He's 5'10". That Marine. Yeah. This one here. Yeah. He's 5'10". So that's how they're trying to figure out how tall she is.
What the hell is she? Was a racehorse?
A little bit bigger. She was a racehorse, you know, because her mom was a racehorse, and she was bred supposedly to another Japanese horse, a Korean horse, in Busan right before in 1948, I think it was. And so, you know, supposedly she was. I, you know, can only go what's kind of written from back then, but. She looks kind of small to me.
We were smaller then, though.
Yeah. Well,
Sounds like someone got
Hutton.
a barn and
Robin
had some fun
Hutton.
with a thoroughbred.
HGTO winner. And we have a website is sgtreckless.com. And my email is sgtreckless@yahoo.com. And so her military decorations, I'll just tell you what they are real quick. Her 2 Purple Hearts, of course. She got the Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, the Presidential Unit Citation Star, Navy Unit Commendation, National Defense Service Medal, the Korean Service Medal with 3 bronze stars, the United Nations Korean Service Medal, the Republic of Korea Presidential Unit Citation. So all of these she wore on her blanket, and a French fourragère that she got from World War I that the 5th Marines would always wear and stuff. So that's basically it. Does anybody have any questions or anything for her?